One of the things I always forget to mention in the like promo section of my weekly forecast is Patreon. I have a Patreon as well, and you can get a discount to the to readings and to the astrology course if you want to do those things. There's also a prototypical version of the astrology course there on Patreon, and there's an electional report there on Patreon. So electional astrology is looking at times when the heavens are cute and launching your product or your business or your new relationship or whatever it is under nice skies versus not launching those things under rough skies. So all of that is available at patreon.com/StanBoneyFunk. But one of the things that I really like about that electional report is that I use it all the time. It's like super useful to me to know when there's a like green light and where there's like a warning sign. But then also after I've done all the elections, then I sort of like put a little summary together. And one of the things that I feel like is going on this week and kind of this month in general is there's a certain sense of like playing conservatively. That is a good method. That's a good way to try to optimize your own outcomes. So if we think of like Mars as being the like action planet, it wants to get out here and like do the stuff, right? And Mars is in Cancer, apt to feel threatened or insecure or and especially with that opposition to Pluto, like what I said in the weekly forecast was like raise the field, destroy everything, right? Like they're seeing that going on. And then also we're still in between eclipses right now. We're in between eclipses until the full moon, and it looks like a pretty rough full moon, but at least this full moon is not an eclipse. So being in between eclipses, and then the next one is a pretty wild and raucous full moon that like could be a problem in a lot of ways. It could be a little bit dangerous or something like this. And then seeing how benefics are not really in relationship to a lot of what's going on here. The benefics are just kind of, Jupiter is in Gemini, and Jupiter is not super strong in Gemini. Now, out of all of the planets to be in a poor position or like essentially undignified position, right? Like a poor essential dignity, then I like Jupiter in those positions. Like I like Jupiter in Capricorn a lot, and because Jupiter is the planet of beneficence and luck and joy and abundance and this kind of thing. And so you put Jupiter into a position where Jupiter is not very good at doing the Jupiter things, and Jupiter has to be especially clever about getting through there and doing things sort of in an innovative way or something like this. And so I tend to like Jupiter in a sign that is not a Jupiter sign. Sometimes Jupiter in a Jupiter sign can be like a little overbearing. It can be like a lot to deal with. Jupiter is associated with wisdom and this kind of thing, and like few things are as terrible as a wise man who knows that he's wise, right? Like fuck that dude, I wish he would shut up immediately, right? So I do like Jupiter in Gemini, but it does mean that Jupiter, if what you want in your life outcomes is like nice things or things to grow and things to work out in a nice way, then there's extra work that has to be done in order for that to happen. And so it's not sort of like you can just chill and stuff's gonna work out. You have to like work on it really hard, and then maybe it'll turn out okay if you're especially clever about it, right? So that's like a little bit what we see going on here with this Jupiter and Gemini. And so Jupiter, and then like Venus is going to be in Sagittarius this week. Like like Venus in Sagittarius is fine. It's just not like, this is not I think peregrine is the word for this, like neither good nor bad essential dignity. It's just like fine, it's fine. And so the benefics are not super strong in a moment like this, and the malefic stuff is real strong, and there's eclipse stuff going on, And there's outer planet stuff going on that is especially difficult as well. I didn't even mention in the weekly forecast that Venus at the end of Scorpio before moving into Sagittarius is going to make an opposition to Uranus and Taurus. And opposition to Uranus looks chaotic and like stuff wants to flip out on you and all this sort of stuff. So like there's plenty here that looks difficult. So when we are looking toward doing something like trying to get good outcomes in our lives, so trying to go to work and do a good job, or get this money, or build relationships, or whatever it is that we're trying to do, then something this week that I think, and you know, this season really, is that it might be worth thinking with is like playing conservatively, it like not being super go-getter about it. You know, especially since we see a Mars retrograde coming up, if we think of Mars as being the action-oriented, go-getter kind of planet, then we're going to have to come back and see a lot of this stuff again, whatever it is that we try to go get, right? So if you try to go get it, then you might see some kind of outcome, and it might not be terrible, but like you're going to have to revisit it and spend a bunch of time with whatever it is that we're doing right now within the Mars fields. And so maybe, and so what you might find is like you build something or you make something and then it kind of like breaks immediately, and then you're like, I gotta like redo it, and it like there's plenty of extra that has to happen here. And so it might be a good time to play a little more, you know, eclipses, right? So like the thing I always say about eclipses is your arms are too short to box with dragons, right? So like dragons flying around doing wild shit. So if you're like, oh, I'm gonna build this thing and I'm gonna build a tower and it's gonna be great, and then dragons just come and fuck it up immediately, then like that's real annoying. But if you draw out your little schematics for your tower and then you see dragons flying around, then you might be able to be like, I wonder if there's a better design that I could do here. You know what I mean? Like, and then also if you have competitors, if you have enemies who are ready to, they're trying to get the jump on you. And so then they build a tower first. Then you can see what happens to their tower and then be like, let me learn from that. One of my superpowers, and my brother is like so annoyed at me all the time. I have an older brother, he's 5 years older than me. And he used to step on landmines all the fucking time with our parents and just in general in life. He would just like be kind of dumb and just out here and doing shit, and he would run into bullshit all the time. And then my job was to learn from his mistakes. This is a really good time to learn from other people's mistakes. As other people are getting into all type of stuff, then this is a really good time to not necessarily be out here on the forefront, on the vanguard, trying to innovate and do new things and like make something new or this kind of stuff, right? Now is a good time to sort of like protect whatever gains you've already made. See if you can make yourself stronger and more robust to whatever chaos and upheaval might be in the air at large. Like that sort of thing is going, that's ongoing. We are not moving away from upheaval at this point. We are moving into upheaval. So becoming robust to that, you know, like in the age of upheaval, innovation is something that is important, and we need to be able to do that. And there are moments for that. But this moment that we currently inhabit, that's why I do a regular forecast every week and every day, is like to know where we are today and what's up right in this moment. In this moment, if it were me, I would think about doing less so that when it's time to go, we can make the most of that. That's the nice thing about astrology. That's why I teach astrology and all this, is because like this is something that is knowable. It is like when to move and how to navigate the landscape of time. This is something that is knowable. And so I don't know, take the course. Astrology from the ground up. It's going to be super dope. I really like teaching, and I think that you'll have a fun time. So there you go. Get 2 pieces this week.